Record. Okay, we're recording. Okay, so today we're going to talk a bit about risk matrices. So the new JSA, which I've tidied up a little bit, which I'm going to share with you right now. That will come up. Here it is. Share that. Okay. So this page here, which you will know, this is the bright, colourful page that everybody flips past just straight after the stop and think. So this part in here, I'm going to talk about how to use it, why we use it, and we're going to start using it basically because we haven't been using this. When I review JSAs, these columns are left blank, or if they are, they're put in. So what we're going to have a chat about is to start with why do we use it? We use this because it's a good chance to have a think about what's happening, the potential hazards, and how we can try to control those or reduce the impact of them. So example would be we are emptying, let's have a clean and bucks days, and we've got a heap of debris to get rid of, and we're going to be bucketing them into bins. Over on stage one, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a outage on. There's heaps of people around, heaps of other forklifts, traffic. The lighting's bad as usual, and yeah, we're going to be driving the forklift in and out all day. So we're going to be making multiple trips. So we've identified that here. We put our task. Step number one task is use forklift to empty bins. Hazards in here, we're going to identify in here. If I can write in here, identify the hazard, we're going to say that, let's write it in. So use forklift to empty bins. Yeah, I can't spell. I can spell, but type my fast. Right. So the hazards for that are we're going to have other workers. Let's keep it nice and simple. Other workers, other plants, vehicles. All right, let's just keep it as simple as that. All right. And we're going to say, let's go back up here for a second. So we're going to say that's our task. Use the forklift to empty bins. Identify there's going to be other workers in place. There's going to be vehicles. There's going to be other plant moving around. So let's come back up and have a look at this risk matrix and how it works, how we can use it. So you'll notice here on one side, we've got likelihood. That's the chance of something happening. At the top here, we've got consequences. What's going to be the result if something does happen? So looking at forklift, we can say likelihood of someone having an accident, remembering that we're, use your imagination here, but we're in the middle of an outage and it's really, really busy, heaps of people around. It's unlikely, it hasn't happened yet, but it could. That's not something that's a too far a stretch to think. It says here once every 10 years. That's always just a guide. So let's keep it at that. And we'll say that if you were to hit, let's say we hit a pedestrian, you back into somebody. Let's be realistic again. Back into somebody. If you're going flat out, good chance you're going to run over them and kill them. It'd be catastrophic. Let's not be catastrophic ourselves. Let's be realistic here and say you back into somebody, good chance you're going to knock them down. You hit them a bit hard. So medical treatment, hospital. Let's put it into the major consequence. Someone's going to go to hospital. Back in them, they're going to get hurt. Even they just bump their head slightly, they've got to go to hospital anyway, get checked out. So what we've happened here, we've got unlikely, which is a 2, major, which is a 4. Add those together, we end up with a moderate risk rating. That's our risk rating for this job. So we come down to here and we go, if we were to drive a forklift and strike a worker, we're going to end up with a risk rating of 8, which we've got from here. So we're in this area here. Right. What can we do to control this? So control, we could use a spotter. We could have warning lights and sirens. The thing is, potentially we could barricade the area and create a traffic path. Let's put that in there. Great. Create a traffic path. Jeez, what's going on here today? not having much fun. Right, yeah, traffic path, right? So nothing's changed in terms of what could go wrong or what would happen, sorry, if something was to go wrong. We hit somebody, we're still going to hospital. All right, still going to mess somebody up. And at the moment, it's unlikely. It's a pretty low chance of happening. That was before we put our controls into place. So we're going to put our controls into place. So we now got a spotter. Potentially we've got barricades in place. We've created a lane that we can drive in where there will be no pedestrians. We've dropped that to rare. Conceivable, but only in extreme circumstances. Okay, so the consequence remains the same. We can't alter that. It will still be, if someone was to walk into our barricades and we would hit them, bang, still going to be a major consequence. They're still going to go to hospital. So we're still in that range there, but we can reduce the likelihood of it happening. So in here, we can come in, and in this area, we put a 4. Now you might think, what was the point of that? The point of that is it really aids the discussion. It gets you to think about, what are we doing? What are our hazards? What is the risks involved? The likelihood and the consequences? And we give it a number. It gives us something to think about. It makes it a bit more tangible. And then we put our controls into place. And what does that do? And if it doesn't lower the number, we need to think about what are we doing and why are we even doing this job. Now, on that point, just a brief thing with the colors. If it's green, you're good to go. Okay, green, you're pretty well good to go. It's a low risk. Anywhere in the yellow, you can see here, you want to think about, what are we doing? Can we reduce it? Orange, do not proceed without seeing a supervisor. You might need to do another risk assessment. It could be, you definitely, yeah, this is not a good place to be in. We definitely want to be reducing what's going on and really thinking about what are we doing. You will not proceed with that without check from your supervisor. And in the red, you're just not doing the job. But we could start in the red and we can have a look at our controls, and we could potentially drop that down to the high where we still need to be really mindful of what we're doing, but we could potentially proceed in that task. The moral of the story is, and the reason why we do this is because it really aids the discussion and gets us to think about what are we doing, why are we doing it, and how we can reduce the risks involved, which is the whole point of doing a JSA. Now, I accept and I realize that doing this and how they're done in reality are two separate things. The point of this little video is to show you how it's done, the reasons why it's done, and hopefully to encourage you to have that conversation, to think about this a bit more next time you do a JSA. So you may or may not have enjoyed this video, but thank you for watching it. Appreciate you taking the time. And as always, if you have any questions whatsoever, I'm just a phone call away. Ring me, message me, whatever. More than happy to sit in with anybody while they're doing a JSA and aid the conversation. I'm not going to have all the answers. You guys will almost invariably know the work far better than I do, but I'm more than happy to sit in, ask questions, and try and offer a little bit of guidance about ways that we can improve the controls of things. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you next time. Let's stop that and end here. Happy days.